This is Justin Arnett Graham.
And this is Nariba Shepherd. And this is Terms of Service. That shit was gold. That was the one.
That was it.
Okay.
That was it.
Yep.
Okay.
Can we use this in the future, Max? Just like forever, this one? Cool. All right, maybe.
Hot take.
Okay.
Hot take. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm very excited to go into this conversation because I feel like this is a fire that literally fuels. It is a fire conversation, but it's also the literal fire that fuels the industry. What we're about to go into.
Could not agree more.
How are you doing though?
I feel, and this might sound crazy, I feel elevated. Like, I feel really, really present. I feel really just involved and happy to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Max, how you feeling?
We got an A-okay
He says
from Max.
A-okay. All right.
Thanks, Max.
Well, now that we have checked in,
yeah,
let's introduce
our guest.
Yeah.
We got another one.
Yes.
And another one.
And another one.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Alan. Hi.
Hey. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being here.
For real.
How are you?
I'm good. Like it's been a couple of stressful days for me, but I feel like this is really going to help me center myself for the upcoming weeks.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Well, I hope that you feel that way at the end of this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this all, who knows? Who knows how we will all feel?
I mean, you know how you're going to feel. Because this is your, is your ride or die.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to feel more open, more free in a way.
Hell yeah.
Share my story, and you guys here to listen to it.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. So, introduce yourself, my friend. Let us know.
So my name's Alan Mares, or Alan Miguel Mares Green, and I am 27 years old. I am undocumented, or documented, because I have my DACA, my Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival.
Okay.
And I am the chef over at Mercy Home for Boys and Girls. Mercy Home for Boys and Girls is a nonprofit org that helps at-risk youth. So, I'm also a student. I'm working towards my bachelor's in social work.
Hell yeah! I went to school for social work. I have a bachelor's of science that I don't use all day, every day. But that's social work is near and dear to my heart because a lot of people don't know this, but the original form of social work was feeding your community. Exactly. And that's what we're fucking doing. So we're out here feeding bodies, and now we're gonna try to feed minds and souls.
Yeah, I mean that's why I joined that's why I ended up in the industry, because I wanted to, I love the whole feeding people. I love before the pandemic happened, I loved hosting dinners with my friends, or so I miss that, and now I'm just trying to tie both food and helping others.
Yes.
So.
Shit.
Love all of that.
Yes. Okay, so in the process, you're in school right now.
Yes.
For social work. Is there a specific area you're looking to focus yourself in?
Well, mainly substance use.
Fair.
My dad's a recovering alcoholic, so I kind of grew up with all that stuff around the house, and so I feel that it's my my duty now to give back in that way.
Hell yeah.
I want to focus a lot on the Black and brown youth, just because I know that our communities are in dire need of that.
Yeah.
And hopefully everything works out at the end, and I get my PhD. So it's
PhD. Hot damn.
That's a long ways from now, though. That's a long time from now, but that's one of the end goals.
Hell yeah. Well, we are committing to trying in this year of 2021. So your commitment is already way above the try level, so you got this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Posy vibes.
This on Tuesday I start school at NEIU, and it's gonna be the first time where I go to a 4-year institution. because I got in 2 degrees from City College of Chicago. So now it's, I guess, time to put my big boy pants on.
You're doing it.
God.
They've been on.
Yeah,
It's been happening.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, there's really no other way to just, to do it except to just get into it.
Yeah, lay it down.
Lay it down. I mean,
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, let's fucking go. So, you talked about things currently that you're up to, but what has your experience been like in the industry, considering that you are undocumented?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, this is my story. This is not to generalize everybody else's story. This is what I've experienced, and it has gotten a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. Just like anything else in the industry, I've been lucky enough to work under amazing chefs like Chef Jason, Chef John, Chef Diana. All the chefs have been super supportive about everything, from like me going back to school to me understanding they understand that I was undocumented, like all this stuff. They've been super supportive. So I have had a somewhat of a good experience in the industry, but that's not 100% of the time. There's good days and bad days. Another reason why I joined the industry was because it has open arms to the undocumented community, but it's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of I'm not gonna pay you enough, or like there's that fear of immigration. And I know a couple of years back there was like raids here and there, and it's
not even a couple years back. Like last year, a place that I was at, they were like showing up across the street.
Yeah.
And we had to be like on it because our dishwasher is undocumented. And like, I think that people don't think about the level of fear that people hold around it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, well, you have a job and blah, blah, blah. But like, that doesn't change your level of stability.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I mean, because I have DACA, I got to renew it every 2 years.
Yep.
And so every 2 years, there's that fear of what if I don't get my DACA? What am I going to do? What if the government gets all my information, which they already have? The same government that doesn't want me here, they have all my information. And so there's that fear, 2 years, every 2 years, dropping like $600 just to renew, just so I can work legally. Like I can't even leave the country or any of that stuff.
Okay, so I'm not a U.S. citizen. I have a green card.
Okay.
And so every 8 years, I have to pay money to renew it. And there's less of a fear of like, is this thing going to go through for me? But on the other end of it, it's like, I'm afraid of living here and not being a citizen, because if the government wants to fuck with me at any time, they have all the information to do it.
Yeah, and I know that when I was first applying for DACA, that was my fear. Like, hey, I'm submitting all this paperwork, all this information about me.
How do I know that you're not going to fuck me over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2017, it was 2017 when the Trump administration decided to get rid of it. It was terrifying.
Tense times.
Yeah, I was terrified. I was working at Marisol right now. I mean, at the time I was working at Marisol, which is, it's not your typical, independent, owner. It was under a company. So there was a lot more strict rules and all that stuff. So it was like, oh shit, I might lose my job. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But the thing is that with him doing that, it just created a fire. And I don't know, where just companies that you never even heard of like decided to be like, hey, no, that's wrong. It's like they sort of like woke up this giant. And that was one beautiful thing, knowing that there was a lot of support for the undocumented community. Again, terrifying though.
Yeah,
it only took that.
Stressful times. They're still happening. They used to be. They're still happening, and it might continue to, depending on how we can get people to move away from the sort of like setup that has been put into the world over the course of the last like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. 4. So I guess a question that I have for you is like, how does someone become able, or how is someone able to access DACA?
Well, before 2017, you know, there was a bunch of requirements. You have to either be in school or had a high school degree, a high school diploma. You had to know misdemeanors. You had to be present on June 12th, I believe, June 12th, 2012, which it was when Obama did the whole speech, which every time I watch it, it's like tear.
Waterworks.
Yeah, literally. And what else? I mean, have money to pay for it. Have all this evidence that you've been in the U.S. since a certain, I think since 2007. I can't remember right now. And so it's a lot. It's a lot of information. You have to have that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the perfect immigrant picture.
Yes. The ideal model immigrant.
Yes.
Ideal potential citizen.
Shit.
Oh.
Potential. I like that.
I never even. Oh shit.
That's what it's. I mean, so I'm in the process of panic applying for my citizenship after everything that happened in this past year. And for me, I did not want to try to become a citizen of the U.S. because I don't believe in the politics.
Yeah.
I don't believe that I should have to pay money to tell Americans that I know more about America than most Americans.
Man.
Which is like, you probably know this because you have to be more American than Americans to make it here in just not even like in the industry, but like in this country.
Yeah, there's that like. You have to be more American, and also you have to be more, in my case, Mexican, because if you go into the community and they see you and they're like, oh, he grew up here, he's not Mexican enough, or this or that, and so you kind of have like that double standard, that kind of like always on your feet.
They want to make sure that we are constantly prepared to be whatever it is they want us to be.
I mean, it took me till I was probably like 23, 24 to actually delve more into my culture. Because when we got here, my mom, she was trying to protect us. But it was one of those things that, you can't speak Spanish in the house. You can watch TV in Spanish. Because you got to learn how to speak
English. Yeah.
And so for the longest is you felt kind of ashamed of your culture. And it just took me to my early 20s for me to actually delve into it and learn more about it and be proud of who I am and listen to Mexican music while I'm driving. While growing up, it was like, no, you can't be doing that.
Because it's like not only learning to be an American, but also like not drawing attention to your culture.
Yeah.
That camouflage life. I mean, I had a thick-ass Trinidadian accent.
I feel like I should have my Mexican accent when I speak in English, but you know what? I'm learning to love it.
Accept it.
Yes, I'm learning to accept it, and here I am now.
Yeah.
Ready to talk to us and tell us a little bit about your experience in this industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have a little question. Because I'm just getting to learn all of this astrology stuff.
True. What's your sign, if you know it? When's your birthday?
I was born May 24, 1993.
That Gemini life.
Gemini.
Whatever that means.
Okay. So it means that you are a very complex twin in your own body. And a lot of the times Geminis feel like not only are they at war within themselves about like their wants and needs, but they also feel like they have to choose an outer side that everyone else gets to see. That's true. The fact that you are doing social work is like a really intense choice of like who you are and who you want to be. And you're sort of like, I don't want to like put ideas into your head about like your personality. But I think that the duality of the twins that is Gemini will be the most useful thing for you going into a career with talking to people from all different backgrounds and experience. Culture. Yep. Oh, code switching. Let me tell you something about code switching. There it is.
I'm learning that right now. It's
a big part of probably also like walking into your next like renewal of DACA and being like, have I done enough for them to
Am I passing?
Am I passing?
Yeah. Am I passable?
Well, you know, we're brown. We out here. We're just trying.
Really though.
Okay.
And I was getting a little Gemini vibes, but I'm actually impressed with
how. Listen, and I didn't even do it this time. You like came in there and you were like,
I felt it.
It was real.
I was just like, I just need.
It's funny because my sister, her birthday's May 26th, and we're like 3 years apart, and like night and day.
That's how y'all work, though, and it's because it's a choice. Like
choices.
It is a choice to be the evolved version. Is your sister younger or older?
Older. She's the one that took care of me growing up. So.
Yo, I was raised by my siblings. They crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, what is that like foreign thing where your parents are like, oh, well, nope, never mind. It's not your parents. It's the whole village raises a child situation where they're like, just pass them around and they'll figure it out.
I think that's what a lot of black and brown
communities
people, grew up as.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. Yes. All right. So I want to keep us like sort of on task. So I know that we talked a little bit about like your experience not being that of like everyone else's, and you had opportunities with chefs who like, you know, may not have treated you super different.
Yeah. I mean, all of the chefs are just trying to get rid of that, you know, 90s kitchen vibe. Like when I first started working at Lula, it was 2014. So it was 2014. So it was a lot of new stuff, a lot of new movement. Yeah.
And like getting people out of the work till you drop, do the most, receive the least mentality.
I mean, it was still there. It was definitely there, but it was very under the rug. I don't know if that makes sense.
Very hush hush.
Yeah, very hush hush. Like maybe not from our you know, our people that were in charge, but mainly around
amongst your peers. Yeah, that seems legit.
I mean, most of them. I was the youngest one in that kitchen at the time. I was 20. Yeah, 20 or 19.
Oh. When I was 20, I was like making grilled cheeses in the common cooking area in my dorm, and people were like, "You should do this for a living," and I was like, "No,
oh stop
it!" And then I graduated and I started doing this immediately. It's like that bachelor's of science and education. I don't need it. No one needs it.
Yeah.
Okay, but
like you're gonna get this grilled cheese though.
You gonna get this grilled cheese? It's gonna be great.
Oh, I can go for a grilled cheese right now.
Right?
Same.
You know what would go really good with the grilled cheese dough?
Oh, go good.
This mimosa. For real though.
This is delicious.
Let's just
hold on.
Okay. So once again, we've returned to the NA spirit-free beers by our homeboys at
our homies over at Athletic Brewing. Yes. Shout out. I'm sure we could figure that out. A nice little brewery tour, which seems so long ago. The idea of a brewery tour.
People in places together. Crazy
no
talk.
Mass.
No mass. Just openly interacting.
But like what we were talking about is how Alan, has never had a mimosa.
Mm-mm. This is the closest.
This is the closest.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about this, Bev?
I mean, it's delicious. I've been a year sober too, so it's actually just blowing my mind.
Yeah, congratulations.
It's really good.
Awesome.
Shout outs to you.
And congratulations again.
So so mimosas typically beer and champagne and orange juice. But this is like turmeric, carrot, orange, pineapple juice on top of the Run Wild IPA, NA IPA by Athletic Brewing, and it is delicious.
Yes, and I just wanted to say that, is this how we're getting you to enjoy an IPA, Nariba?
Oh.
Because if I recall, IPAs...
She taint for me. But
okay.
This is delightful.
But...
It's really good.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it has like a bunch of vitamins and, good stuff.
Like a health food?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for you and good to you.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So, thank you, Athletic Brewing. And also, Ashley Christine of Garnet for crafting this delicious spirit-free
Delightful.
beverage. Yes.
Thank you.
With these, I can never pronounce the name of these olives.
I love olives.
Castellano. Max?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Castellano olives. I don't really like olives, but I enjoy these.
This is
because these are
not
great.
as intense.
Yeah.
They're like
Castellano.
mild.
The flavor of them reminds me of elotes, for sure.
Oh.
Oh, fudge. Where am I going to put this pit?
We're going to figure it out. Oh, right. Alan's got you.
Oh, thank you. In the corner.
There you go.
Okay. So...
This is a bonding moment there.
Back to this conversation.
Yes.
So a thing that I've thought a lot about living in the US and listening to people's arguments about like undocumented people in the workplace. My understanding is that a lot of times undocumented people take jobs that Americans don't want to be doing. And I use the word take because no one else is trying to do that.
Yeah.
And that's the language that Americans use when they feel like something is being stolen from them. Air quotation marks to the max.
Feel the air quotations?
So like, I want to know what your take on that is.
Well, my parents came here to get a better life for all of us. And sometimes that meant taking whatever job there was. Mm-hmm. And I think that's that mentality of like, hey, I'm out of my country. I need to make money. I need to send money back. I'll take whatever, which is sometimes farming, lawn care, working in the restaurant industry. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I hate that people think that we're here to steal jobs when the jobs are there. Nobody wants them. We take them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. So I think that I learned a lot about my privilege in the last year because I was able to like work in the industry and like continuously like move forward. And with the pandemic happening and things closing down, I realized that like I have the privilege to go into another field and work if I want to. But that is not something that everyone in the industry has access to.
That is true.
But in the same vein, I'm like, I don't need to be in charge of anyone or like running a show to feel as though I am like earning a living. Mm-hmm. And coming back into working not in a management position has been really freeing in that sense. But once again, I'm talking from a point of privilege of having those options. In this time that we're living in right now, do you think that it's harder to find jobs and communities as an undocumented person that you know will continue to be there for you beyond this moment?
Well, what I've witnessed is that, so not a lot of people are going back to work because you know, being scared of the virus and whatnot. But then there's people in the undocumented community that they don't have that luxury.
Yes,
they need to go to work, and so they're taking these jobs that are super risky. You know, they don't have the right protection of everything, all that stuff. And I feel that we will always find a job. Don't matter if it's pandemic out there, if it's 30 inches of snow, if it's over 100 degrees, like we'll somehow, some way, we'll find a way to thrive.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answers your question.
No, that does. It like puts into context a lot of the things that people suppose is happening or they imagine is happening, but it's different when you are communicating with someone who is advocating for not only yourself, but for like members of the community who are dealing with the same challenges as you. And I know we talked about this a little bit beforehand, but like, are there any resources that are available?
There's maybe a little to none.
Yes. Okay.
I know that me as an undocumented person with DACA, like I can't get Social Security. Like all those taxes that are taken out of my paycheck, never going to see them.
Right. Yep.
I know that at one point we couldn't apply for unemployment. So like I said, GoFundMe. That's sometimes that's our all of our resources. I know that it's that company from Texas that they have like $4 million for something smoke. It was just like it really just came out, like, and because they had like $4 million and then they've only given like probably like half of that, and they're like, oh, we still have 3,300.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like this moment where it's like,
something smoke, Southern smoke.
Southern smoke. Yes.
Yeah, and so I tried applying for that, and their application is just insane. Like
they make it really hard for you to get free money.
Exactly.
Free.
And you know, and there's sometimes they'll ask for a social security number, and some of us don't have a social security number. I'm privileged enough to have, again, my DACA. I'm hella privileged for that. But eventually I just stopped looking for any sort of resources and then just went out there and trying to find a way to get money.
Yeah.
Working.
So I'm going to keep it real. Can I keep it real for a second?
Keep it real.
Thank you. I'm loving the vibe and the tone of this conversation, but I'm also getting really like aggravated and upset because just this big red flag, big word that keeps flashing before my eyes is exploitation. And it just really, it's fucking with me right now. And you know, it's because of the line that you had just mentioned, Alan. It's Social Security.
Yeah.
Those taxes get taken out.
We never see them.
You'll never see them.
Even if you're working with a fake social, which a lot of people do, they never see all that money. They just that money that you get right there and then you never see. You just see that, but you never see like all the taxes taken out and all this stuff.
We're definitely return or unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
The undocumented community is definitely pumping in money into the economy, and we're just seeing a second-class citizens or even less than that. It kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, and it's aggravating to me to hear it so closely because it's something just being in the industry. I'm aware.
You're
I'm
around
aware
it, and you're aware of it,
and you're aware of it. Right.
But it doesn't. If it doesn't affect you, then it doesn't. I don't want to say matter, but it's not like at the forefront of your thoughts.
It's in the back burner.
It's on the back burner.
Right.
Yeah. And
which is like a traditionally American AF thing.
and you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. Having DACA, that also kind of like, even as an undocumented person, I will put that on the back of my head. Like, I stop worrying because I know I have that safety net.
Yeah.
But then what happens with the rest of the people that couldn't get DACA or the older people that they don't qualify for it because you have to be a certain age to qualify for it. And then after 2017, all those undocumented youth that couldn't apply for it, which it changed now. Maybe a couple months ago, they reinstated after a huge legal battle. It was insane.
Yeah, it was declared, I believe, unconstitutional.
It's literally unconstitutional.
Yeah.
But, something about a Cheeto. That's my whole line. That's my whole line for that.
that part. I'm still on the exploitation. It's
big.
It's big.
It's big in the restaurant industry, but it's even bigger with undocumented people. Just because if you're being taken advantage of, you have that fear of, oh, I can't go to a lawyer because I'm working. They're paying me under the table, or I don't have a legit social security number. I mean, when I was working it was a factory before I got into the restaurant industry. I was working at a factory, and the owner kept giving us checks that bounced. And when we left,
Sir, what did you just say?
They kept the checks that bounced.
I would have bounced my ass right the fuck out of there.
After a while, like you gotta get out of there. So I left and probably left with them owing me maybe like a stack or something like that.
Sir.
And it was big. Like, a lot of us were just mad about it, and we were afraid to say anything. Eventually, homie did get in trouble, and like people did get together and all that stuff. I haven't seen that money though, so that was back in like 2011. So
wow. So,
but you're trying to survive, and you can't get unemployment. You can't go work at a McDonald's or stuff like that. So you gotta take whatever job you can.
Yeah.
And I was there. I've been there. I know a lot of the homies have been there, and we just take whatever we can.
Yeah.
Because you gotta survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, what is something, or quite a few things, that you would like industry leaders, not only in the restaurant space, because obviously that's what we're anchored in, but just in general, about the undocumented experience?
Well, I feel that, I might go off topic a little, but
have you met us?
Yeah, I'm just like, I asked about
I know that there's a big movement on mental health.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm all for it, all this stuff. But I need that same energy that I put into that, into advocating for the undocumented community.
Say that.
Respect.
I mean, I see restaurant owners, being big on their Instagram about stuff like this, but I don't see anything about the undocumented people that work for them, and it's kind of infuriating. Like, they're big on, we need equal blah blah blah, this or that, or because now they're asking for help from the government because of the pandemic. But what about your undocumented workers?
Can you say that one more time, please?
What about your undocumented workers?
Right.
Like, are you? They can't apply for unemployment. They can get. Are you helping them? If you have takeout, are you still offering them a job?
No.
Are you giving them food? Like, they're not doing it. I don't.
It's
at least not that I know of.
It's truly unfortunate to how it feels and looks as the forgotten class.
Yeah. But we don't sit down and wait for things to be handed to us. I know a lot of the homies are just doing their thing, their side hustle, selling food, opening their little pop-ups here and there. They're just, we can't sit still.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of good and bad, Because you can't really take the time to take care of yourself.
Self-care. Yeah. Don't let me down. Yeah. Take some sad shit and make it sadder. Just saying. Because that's what it's like sometimes.
Yeah.
My therapist is probably now listening to this, but I'm just saying, like, what you just said is like money talk for real. Like, we need to start taking the same energy we're taking into like making the industry better as a whole, but like remembering that a lot of that industry is built on the labor of people
free labor
yep.
of people who are undocumented and aren't going to push back, because a lot of the times they're like grateful for what they're fucking being offered, which is nothing in comparison to what they're losing. Like you said, when you don't have access to unemployment benefits, a fucking tax return, and like people don't realize that undocumented people are also like not able to get the same resources for mental health. And now you're like double pushing through some shit that the people around you may not be dealing with on a daily basis.
Yeah. You just reminded me of something that I saw on Facebook a couple of years ago. It was about the DACA thing, and I was on the comments, you know, because I wanted to hurt myself, I guess. I was on the comments, and
it's a dangerous place to be, homie.
And somebody was like, "Yeah, I wish I was undocumented too, so I can get all the free benefits that they're getting." I'm just like,
no.
It took every ounce of me to actually not respond to that. I was like, I don't have time for this.
But also, let's respond to that right now. Fuck that bullshit, and fuck whoever said
I'm
that.
petty as fuck.
Yes.
So that's another thing that I want to see, like more information about it. You know, more information. If you have undocumented workers working for you, you know, like inform them that they have rights.
Yes.
Give them a phone number to a lawyer or something. You know, give them resources. I'm big on resources. If I have them, I give them. If you have them, I'll take them.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. I respect that. That's that sharing is caring shit.
Caring,
not Karen. Cool. Just making sure.
Love that we're on the same page with that. So yes.
Yeah.
I love that this is happening. You know, that this conversation is happening. Why are you so comfortable talking about this so publicly? Because it can feel, you know, like these backroom conversations.
First of all, DACA.
Yeah, I was about to be like, you got that like little slip, permission slip.
Yes.
Yeah.
DACA has helped me a lot, but we need a fucking permanent solution.
Yes.
Like we need it. It's
agreed.
Dire need. But also growing up, I felt like I was always don't talk about your status. Don't say anything. They ask you, don't say anything. And there was not a lot of, I guess, positive role models that were undocumented for myself growing up. So I kind of wanted to break that mold, that idea that, just because I'm undocumented, I won't go far.
Hell yeah.
I mean, growing up, there wasn't a lot of that. And even some people even told me that I was going to end up working at a factory. And went from an honor roll student to barely graduating high school just because of that. So, like, I'm not trying to change the world, but if my story helps somebody, you know, kickstart something, hey, great.
Sir, you already changing the world, because the fact that you are
it's happening
in school and you want to work towards a place where you can then have resources available for other people to have access to, you're making the next steps easier for the people that are right behind you. And like,
agreed.
A lot of the times Black and brown people do a lot of the groundwork before anyone notices what's happening. Like, okay, so DACA, before that became an option, who do you think made the like conversation start to get to there?
I mean, everything started from the Dream Act.
Exactly.
It goes all the way to like 2001 when Senator Durbin introduced it.
Exactly.
But there was already a big following of people trying to push for that. There's been, it's mainly brown people.
And that's the thing.
And that's because when you think of undocumented immigrants, you think of Mexicans, you think of South Americans, but you never think about the European undocumented immigrants. I had a friend that she was undocumented, and she wasn't even from, America. She was from, I think she was from India.
I know a lot of undocumented Polish people in the U.S.
But then there's all this laws, like in Arizona a couple years ago, that were racially profiling people. Even if you look at undocumented, they had the right to stop you. But how does a white person gonna look undocumented?
Exactly.
They just look from like down the street.
Is it Sheriff Joe? Whatever. Yeah. Wasn't he pardoned?
Oh man.
Different
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
There's laws like that are aimed towards undocumented people of color, but not towards your white undocumented people.
Not even undocumented, just people of color.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But
how much time we got?
Forever.
One thing that I wanted to talk about is there's this glamour of the industry, right? There's Michelin stars, there's the James Beard Foundation, there's select coverage in the media. And what are your thoughts on like bridging that glamorized facade with the harsh realities of the industry, but specifically to Black and brown people that are undocumented?
It needs to happen. There needs to be some sort of bridge because they're not getting enough credit. They're not seeing what's happening behind the scenes. That you got your chef blading shit with tweezers, but they don't talk about the homie.
Hi, that's me. Sorry.
That's prepping stuff in the back, or that came in extremely early to get your chickens going, or to wash your dishes. Like there's all that. Even if you're not undocumented, there has to be that bridge, because you have all these spotlights on this big chefs, but what about the people that are working under them? What about all these young cooks that are being taken advantage of? It needs to happen.
So that reminds me. May I share a story of something that I heard? So there is this prominent restaurant group here in Chicago. Listen closely, and I'm sure you can figure out who they are. Yes. So
I feel dirty.
Hello.
Okay.
Anyhow, there is this very well-regarded restaurateur, and had this iconic restaurant. And one of the things that they spoke about upon their closing is how proud they were to be able to keep their dishwasher and to move them from where they've been for decades to another one of their properties, because supposedly people were asking. And as I'm reading this quote, I'm sitting there and being like, this is one of the prime examples of exploitation, because you have been able to build an entire ecosystem, and I do not want to assume anything about that dishwasher, but if you were with someone and you're help building up their business, where is your trajectory? Even if you do not provide, even if you don't even know how to ask for it, you should be able to at least be presented with another option.
Yes.
This whole story sounds like they were just looking for sympathy points. Like, our dishwasher, blah, blah, blah. Well,
but don't worry, there's still going to be a dishwasher somewhere else within our company.
Exactly.
So
I've literally worked at
Somewhat.
places where the dishwasher has been there for 20 years. And there's one day where he doesn't show up. And we're all like, yo, what the fuck? Like, legitimately concerned because we know that this person is undocumented. And then an hour into when his shift is supposed to be, his daughter shows up to work the shift because it's a sense of security that the job makes people feel obligated to in a familial way instead of it just being a job, because you don't have the luxury or the option to find another job. And that fucking blew my mind that a daughter came in to cover her father's fucking shift.
I did that for my dad a couple of times. When he was a dishwasher, there was this restaurant on 71st and Pulaski, around that area. I was in 8th grade, actually.
How?
And my dad was going through some stuff, and he was passed out drunk somewhere. And it's like, oh, well, we need this job.
Yes.
So, you know, like the owner knew me, like they knew me since I was a kid and all that stuff. So they
you were
like,
still a kid.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Still a kid.
Yeah.
and I ended up washing dishes for them for like a couple hours.
That's the thing. Like, you confirmed a story that other people have definitely heard and witnessed happening. And no one is talking about how it's more prevalent than not that these business owners don't give a fuck who's doing the job as long as someone shows up to do it.
Right.
Girl. I'm letting my brain readjust to the fact that, like, I said a thing, you live the thing, and then we're like, it's reality.
It happens, but unfortunately,
And I mentioned the thing. It just...
I want to know who these people are now. But you know, that could
we
be
can
like,
tell you after.
Yeah, that could be off.
yeah, no problem. It'll happen. Trust me. We're just sitting here and sighing.
Just like,
I'm disappointed in you.
yes.
In me?
No.
No.
You're amazing.
Yes.
You hush your mouth.
Yes.
I'm disappointed in the fact that we have been made to believe we're part of a family in this industry to a certain extent. And when you look away from that and you try to be like, oh no, I'm a whole person on my own, other people make you feel like you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
In the industry, because they have access to the things that we do not. That's it.
That's a mic drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I mean, but don't get me wrong. I mean, there's actually like owners out there that they care to a certain extent, but they care.
yes.
That's
that
great. That's good.
Like, yeah, they knowing that the people are undocumented, but they do give them a job. But not just that, but they pay them well.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that. There's that.
It's a
there's
step
that
towards making it
it's
better.
yeah. It's a step.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want it to feel as if this is a one size fits all conversation.
Oh, definitely not.
Because we're not, saying that this is what everyone does. These are factual statements that we are responding to because it's reality.
That we witness.
Yeah.
We have witnessed that we've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it happens on a food service level, and I have personally seen it happen on the upper echelons of the industry as well.
Yeah.
Like anything to keep the wheels moving. The cogs are going.
Yeah.
And it's not just in like
that mentality is kind of dangerous. You gotta do what you gotta do. I heard that way too many times.
Hi. That's me.
It's you again.
I do it all the time. But I'm trying to be better about it. My therapist thinks I'm working on it.
Well, I mean, another thing that came with the virus was that mentality that if I'm sick, I'm gonna still show up to work. It's out the window.
Yeah, but is it though?
To a certain extent,
yeah. Because
is it though?
Because okay, if I'm symptomatic about anything, I can't go to work. But if I feel like shit, I'm still gonna go to work. But I'm not gonna tell anybody. Chipping away little by little.
Like, yes, it's baby steps. You're acknowledging that there's a thing there that you need to be working on, and yes, we're trying to do that. I have literally heard experiences of people in this time where their job is not giving them the information that they need to know about being safe at work.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in this time with so many like places closing down, restaurants are trying to redistribute their employees. And I know of people who are undocumented in big groups, and they're like, oh, we can offer you a job in this other position, but then they're asking them for all this documentation that they know doesn't exist, right, so that they can continue to work for less than what the person doing that job prior was getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a, they're in a way they're kind of like covering their behind.
Yes,
because
and that's
like, oh, I didn't know this person wasn't documented, but low key you actually did.
High key you actually did.
Yeah.
But
like, yeah, you knew, and Nariba, just the term like redistribution of employees, that's such like a commodities term.
I know, that's why I said it.
Yeah, that is not,
because we are commodities.
Right.
You are seen as a commodity in this industry because you have skill and resources that they can I was gonna say use, but take advantage of was what was coming out first. So I'm gonna go with that. Take advantage of. And you are expected to be happy about it.
Yeah.
Because it's a job that you have been offered.
You're welcome.
Because it's a job. That's it. It's a job.
You haven't been offered it. You're going to get it.
Yeah.
You're going to take it because that's how they've set it up for us.
Yeah, so
terminology, you gotta love it.
Yeah. So what can we do to commit to the try to make the industry more compassionate to its workers? I
mean, it's kind of hard. There's so many laws. There's like from one point I'm furious for my undocumented brothers and sisters, but then also it's like, well, for another point, it's like some of these owners can't really do much. Like they can't go out and change the law. They could try to advocate for these people, but that's as much as it can be done sometimes. Like we have to, if we need to change it, we need to change it to like a federal level. Like we need to start getting involved in our communities, look into our, just like community, the government, your community, like aldermen and all these people. Starts there, and then it goes up to senators and all this stuff, little by little. But there's things could be done.
Yeah, and it has to be done on a community level, and it has to be done on a cultural level.
Local government. That's where I was.
Local government. Yeah. There you go. And it's so much bigger than the industry, but it's inclusive to anyone that has ever gone out to eat ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, they can owners can try to make this their space more undocumented friendly. They could, I don't know, can they stop using E-Verify? Like, I know that's a long. It's a slippery slope.
If anyone is listening and you know of other resources that can be used that aren't E-Verify, let your homies know.
Yeah.
Connect at termsofservice.media.
For real.
And also, right now, if people with the pandemic, if people know of any resources for undocumented workers, from I guess GoFundMe pages to anything, reach out.
True.
So back when we met in March, which feels
we met way before that.
That is also true. When we reconnected, in March during 6 feet apart, there was a young woman that we interviewed, and she's lovely and amazing, and her name is Laura. So if you're listening to this, hi Laura. During the call to action prompt, like, what do you want to see? What do you think is really important that people should know during this uncertain time? And the first thing that she said was to look out for those that do not qualify for assistance.
Yep.
And as a white woman, her, not I.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shocking. I know. But I'm doing my best. And anyhow, it was really beautiful, not only to hear, but to see that conviction.
Yeah.
Like she stood by that. And as soon as we were done with that interview, we're like, hell yeah. To be that selfless and to even consider that.
Yeah.
Is beautiful. And I mean, it's a challenge for anyone that's listening to it. Like, things are built on the backs of those that are consistently overlooked, overworked, underpaid, and
yes.
Yeah. and that right there should be like, no, that's not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a restaurant owner or something like that, if you're gonna talk the talk about changing the industry, walk the walk too. If you're gonna be talking about
absolutely,
you're getting funds from the government, or trying to change the way that your restaurant works and all this stuff, cool. Yeah, and include those people that don't qualify for federal help.
Right. And do that shit transparently.
Yeah.
All right. Don't do it as part of some social media strategy, because we see you.
Yeah.
We see it.
Okay?
Yeah.
I just got a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
That was reality.
Well,
that was a taste of reality.
Alan, you have already finished yours.
Ooh.
But if you had a little bit left, this
Gin Fizz.
This Gin Fizz.
I actually have a can of whatever was made with.
Athletic Brewing. So see, all of these things are coming full circle, but that bad taste in your mouth because of the let's see,
lack of respect for people who do more work than those who are actually in the forefront and the exception of, talents and grace.
Right, because this Monday Gin Fizz, actually.
No gin.
Fizz. Spirit-free Gin Fizz.
Delicious.
Right. It would
get a little bit of that out of your mouth.
It will briefly
with
make
highlights of like.
It would be nice, nice palate cleanser.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what? She is pretty clean for that.
Yeah, like a nice little granita, a little granite, as I believe they used to say it back in my Michelin star days.
Michelin.
Michelin. Yes. But the notes of bell peppers and celery are quite refreshing.
They really are.
It is.
So yes.
Nice and earthy.
That fucking lavender soda though.
Lavender soda.
The fizz that it deserves.
It's doing what needs to be done. So, and that's how I feel about it.
Thanks, Ashley Christine.
Thank you so much. So,
also, can we talk about the term illegal and people using it still? Like it's the fucking 90s. Like I don't. I swear to God, if somebody comes up to me talking about you're illegal, hands on site.
Yeah.
Like
these hands roam free. They're meant to be caught.
Yeah. Yo, I hate that term. I
Yep.
hate the term illegal. Like, if you want to refer to me in any sort of like immigration, anything, I am undocumented.
Okay. That's right, kids. Use your words wisely. I'm not saying choose, because y'all making reckless choices out there. Use them wisely.
Illegal alien, like,
because you're gonna get some hands.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. From everywhere. And you did it. So this is something that I feel a multitude of ways about, but pardon me. Companies that intentionally seek out undocumented labor. And I just felt the thumbs down on that bullshit. But we have to acknowledge that this is shit that actually happens.
It does happen. And it you might think that it's the big companies. Sometimes it's just the little guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's disrespectful. It's inhumane. And
it's dehumanizing.
Yes.
Yep.
You're more profit.
Profits over people.
And it's like, if you are part of the hospitality industry, how the fuck is this hospitable?
Oof.
How, sir?
Houseway.
Can you take a walk into your day and not realize how disrespectful it is to hire people that you know won't push back on how much you offer to pay them? And then with the like culture around not talking to each other about how much we're making, a lot of people are out here thinking that this is like the best that they can be doing.
No.
And it's not even close to true.
No.
And I've like been on the side of like advocating for undocumented workers to get paid more money. Because, to be honest, I personally love washing dishes.
It can be therapeutic.
It's very fucking therapeutic. Like, as long as I don't have to like multitask, I don't mind washing dishes all fucking day. I'll do that shit.
Put me in
but
a
it
dish
is
pit.
back-breaking work.
Yeah.
And I personally think that dishwashers should always make more money than they are making.
They are the pulse of the restaurant.
They know more about everything that's happening in every aspect of the restaurant because they have to a certain extent.
I mean, when I was working at Lula, we had one of these dishwashers that you'd be in the shits and you could just like call him and he'll get you anything.
Yo, I had dishwashers that used to sick burn me because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing when I started in the goddamn industry. Be like standing in the corner like, you know you need a new pot of water. I'm not going to tell you, but I have it waiting around the corner. I'm going to wait for you to figure it out. And I'm
because
like...
you have to come to that conclusion for yourself.
Exactly. And you know what?
And you know...
I love them still.
Also as a line... Not even as an owner, but as a line cook, you know, respect your
always.
Dishwasher.
Yes.
They could get you out the shits. If you need anything, yo, can you... You know, if you need to feed them, feed them.
They can also fuck your shit all the way up.
Oh, yeah.
All the way up. Have we all seen the movie Waiting?
I saw it for the first time in 2018.
Whoa, welcome.
I know.
Yeah, no.
I haven't seen it, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I feel better.
Okay. Watch it.
Okay.
It's great.
Is it on any streaming platforms that...
We're not going to mention any of those platforms because they don't give us no money.
Right.
But
it is
probably.
Yes, it is on a streaming platform that is very, very popular.
Oh, got it.
Perfect.
I picked up what you're dropping.
No, thank you. So there's this gentleman in the movie Waiting. He's a dishwasher and he is
the therapist.
He's
a therapist.
The therapist of the restaurant.
I really gotta watch this movie then.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not good.
No.
Oh.
But it's great.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie that is great if you work in food because you're like, oh, this is same, different.
Okay.
Right.
Like you've seen it, you've heard about it, but they just like mushed it all into one movie.
Is it gonna get me like no, that never happens in a restaurant.
Oh,
I don't want to talk too much about it.
But
is this the one with the chef that comes out there with the raw steak?
No.
Okay. Okay then.
I do have to ask you a question, Nariba, before we move on. Which character would you say that you are from the movie Waiting?
Oh, I'm all of the pirate chefs in the fucking kitchen looking at what time it is, and someone fucking walks in at 10:45 after you've broken everything down when you close at 11, and you're like, what the fuck? That's me.
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
I dare.
I learned the hard way to not break down my station till.
I never learned that. I still do it. I just don't wrap anything, but I'm like, everything's flipped and ready to rip.
I got the classic don't break down your fucking station till I tell you to.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Rude.
But at the time I was like, yes, chef. Sorry, chef.
Yeah. Right. Well, I would be this character, Naomi, and I'm just gonna.
She the host?
No, she is not the host.
I can't remember the characters.
She's the server who is super nice to the table, super accommodating.
I know what you're talking about now.
But
when you turn around that corner in the back, you're like murder.
That does sound nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back with that for you. And then as soon as I know that you cannot see my face or I'm just like, you know what? You've been here for too damn long, okay? And you and
Is that any way to talk about your coworkers?
Oh, I'm not talking about my coworkers.
According to the conversation we had with a young Joey about how we should change our narrative to be more accepting of the people that come in the doors
come into our
and
spaces.
earn their money and give their money to us.
That is correct.
I know.
That is correct. I was talking about the guest. so like that's where I was coming from.
The guests are coworkers, remember?
Yeah, but I'm just talking about a guest as
right.
not a coworker.
Okay.
Shout out to Joey. Thank you for giving us that
new
piece.
Look.
Yeah, that outlet. That new outlook.
But we still garbage a little bit.
But and I still got feelings, and I let myself feel them.
Yeah.
And that's.
You're right.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at on that. But watch Waiting.
Okay.
And
we'll watch it.
We'll chat about it more.
I'll definitely watch it.
Waiting. Something that we should all see at least once.
Yeah, I feel like once is enough.
Yeah. I'm not gonna watch it again.
Well, once is enough.
Yeah.
I think I know what movie you're talking about.
It has
that the guy that eventually
Kane Duck. It has Kane Duck in it.
Okay.
We ain't gonna give him no credibility saying his name.
Almost had to change that to the 10-second rule.
Exactly. This isn't about him.
It is not.
This is about Alan.
That's me.
And the fact that he is taking a journey that he has established for himself about how to bring better resources and treatment to a community of people overlooked by the entire American society, TBH, because more should be done and not enough is being done. And it is a day after January 1st in the year 2021. And we got a full sight of what America is really like.
Oh man, what a year it's been.
And if anything, I think it is only proving to us that people don't like the progress and change that we are trying to have happen in the U.S. currently.
It's disgusting.
Yep.
And I think that for a lot of people, none of this was surprising.
I mean,
but it is though. To some,
sadly. This might be a little personal, but I mean, fuck it, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of my former partners' parent thought that I was only with his daughter because I wanted my green card.
Yes.
And hanging out with them, maybe like I did like 3 times or something like that. It was always uncomfortable.
Yep. Yes.
Wow.
So it's shit like that,
Yeah. And it's still happening.
It's still happening.
I mean, this happened like a year or so ago. So,
right. It's still running wild in these streets.
Bitch assness.
Yeah.
It's rampant.
So, since we just talked about the craziness that goes on in regards to just this
domestic
country,
terrorists. What?
That yes.
Sorry,
yes.
I just had to put it out there once.
Yeah. Like I couldn't help myself.
Can't not do it.
Yeah.
Because let it be black and brown people.
It wouldn't even. It wouldn't even be a thing.
Privilege.
Completely. And part of white privilege is the monetization of other people's cultures and cuisines.
Oh, we're going there.
We're dunking in it. Dunkin' Hines.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Dunkaroos.
Oh, do you
Never
know
had
that?
them.
What?
Never had Dunkaroos.
Oh.
If you got that upgrade on GoPuff, you can get it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. I haven't had Dunkaroo in forever. I love me some Dunkaroos. I didn't even know they were still around.
Yeah.
They just.
What?
I think they just started making them again.
Yes.
Oh.
And like last summer.
Be still my beating heart. Okay. If y'all are listening, feel free to drop us a line at connect@termsofservice.media and send us all the Dunkaroos. Now, back to originally scheduled programming. Monetization of other people's shit.
Yes, that is. It's kind of hard for me because I'm trying really hard to like share my culture and everything, but saying like no, don't cook my food or don't cook my culture's food. It's bad. Blah 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 blah. Like that's kind of that inner struggle with me because I want to share it. I want to bring it up to the world, but I also don't want other people to monetize from it or people that didn't grow up in the same culture or all this stuff that I don't know where they just get a Michelin star or have a couple Michelin star restaurants with Mexican food. So
they're like, look what I found.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty plain.
And I've gotten into arguments with this with a really close friend of mine because there's that whole this chef has worked hard for where he's at, he deserves everything, blah 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 blah. He's doing good, and I'm just like, but it's my culture. And again, I want to share it. I want the world to see it. Experience it the way that I've experienced it. Yeah. But then again, why is a white chef making Mexican food?
When you're taking from others' culture, you're minimizing their identity.
Yeah, and not just that. Also, I've been thinking a lot about, when have I done that to other cultures?
Right.
So there's also that, like, you got to keep your others on check and you got to keep yourself on check.
Yeah.
Pay respects the proper way.
Y'all, this is what I have to say about this. People in this industry will look you dead in the face and argue that it has been built on the collaboration of cultures and sharing your culture and your food and like whatever knowledge you have with each other, and it helps everyone to grow.
Yes.
And in Chicago, I feel like Mexican food specifically gets monetized in so many ways outside of Mexican culture. It's insane. The secondary thing to that, I would say, is specifically white men cooking Asian food.
Ooh.
Specifically. And I'm not coming for like any one person, because I've not worked in a kitchen where someone has discovered fish sauce and thinks that it needs to go in every fucking thing. Let me tell you, fish sauce does not need to go in every fucking thing. But these are the same chefs that will argue that they're not appropriating anyone's culture when that person from the exact same culture is telling you to your fucking face you're doing it and asking you not to do it, and you still do it anyway.
Charging an arm and a leg for it. Well, somebody else is doing it for cheaper. Like, also that.
And better.
Also that.
Right. Yeah.
Like people thinking that Mexican food or Asian food has to be cheap. Have you guys seen the amount of ingredients that any of these recipes have? The product that it goes into, the labor?
That's what I'm fucking saying. Like, yes, you think that it's street food because it's not set up to look particularly. It's not French.
Yeah.
You correct. Okay, let's just stop there. It's not French. It ain't fine dining. Like, that's what we've been led to believe.
Right.
But turmeric, my dudes, not cheap.
That shit's expensive.
That shit's expensive.
Real expensive.
And the way that people disregard the flavors that come from these different regions, and they just like want to misrepresent them in their dishes because it's a name of something that you are familiar with and you're gonna grab onto and like be like, yeah, no, I know what that is. You don't know shit. You don't know shit.
So you went and spent a whole year somewhere and you think you can...
Not even sometimes. They're like, I went on vacation for 2 weeks and I came back with this experience that everyone should have.
Like, or these investors of these groups are like, you know what you need to do? Let's send you to some place other than here for 2 months, because your experience there is going to be the anchor of our new concept.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But see, there's tons to unpack here.
Yeah.
Tons.
Well, you know what?
But, you know,
This is a good start.
Yes, and as long as you start it, you can, you know, generate some momentum and keep it moving.
Again, we're not, or at least we're not generalizing anything.
No.
Just these are just my experiences, your experiences, and your experiences
together.
Just in case anybody goes out there talking about that we're, hey, you know, they're talking blah 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 blah, but
they gonna say it.
Yeah, they're gonna say it anyway. You know,
but
the streets is talking.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna respond appropriately.
Yeah.
But thank you. This was awesome. Thank you so much, Alan. Sorry.
And thank you for like sharing your experience with us, because a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about their legitimate experience in this industry. And I'm just glad that you were able to come in and take the time to really like share this thing that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
And maybe we can like generate some conversations for people to have on their own time and space, and really take accountability for like where they fall in this, because we all play a part.
Yeah, and inspire some action.
Yeah.
Oh,
with that as well.
I mean, thank you guys for having me and giving me a platform to talk.
Yeah. How was it? How was your time with us?
It was great. Like, it was brilliant. Like, I was terrified at the beginning, but it was super chill.
Yeah,
I really had.
We're just people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So
you guys really made talking about this a little bit more chill. Even though it should not just be chill. People should be
fired up.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to say rioting, because then my Twitter account gets suspended.
Right. Well, where can people find you?
I'm Facebook, Instagram. I mean, my social media. It's my social media, and it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Drop the link. Drop the username.
I guess my username is AM. What is my username?
Oh, You know what? I fucking wish that I had that thought because I'm out here like, this is my information. You can contact me at here, here, and here. I'm poor. Send me money.
It's my Cash App, Venmo, Zelle.
Yeah. I think my Instagram handle is A Mares 7160. Yeah, I think that sounds appropriate. Yeah.
We'll confirm that.
I enjoy it.
But yeah, you guys can see like what I'm doing over at where I'm working right now.
Yeah.
Super excited about that, about working with the youth, and hopefully everything works out.
Also, that just reminded me, congratulations on your write-up.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, of course.
It's
yes.
Oh, I feel like on cloud nine.
Good.
I couldn't believe it. It was crazy.
Awesome. Good. Well, in closing, I am Just Arnett Graham, and you can find me on Instagram at What's Bico.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
There we go. Yep.
And I'm Reba Shepherd. You can find me at Rebaru on Instagram, REBARU. And jobless or jobless.
Shouts to y'all. I had a great time.
I had a great time. Amazing. Thank you for the non-alcoholic drinks too, by the way.
Of course. And thank you to our friends at Blind Barber for hosting this conversation.
And also
Max.
to Max.
Peace.